You already know how to blend in. That skill came free. You were born into a world that begs you to mirror it. Copy the pace. Copy the noise. Copy the excuses. The crowd gives you a script, and if you read it well enough, they clap for a moment and forget you tomorrow. You were not built for that. Stop chasing people. Chase the standard. Make the line so clear and so hard that even the crowd can understand it without liking it. The standard is where respect begins. It is the line that does not move when moods swing, when trends swirl, when algorithms change, when friends get tired. The standard is the spine. You either have one or you keep borrowing someone else's posture and wonder why your back hurts. Crowd thinking is cheap. It buys distraction and sells you regret. You scroll through the same 3 ideas dressed in new fonts and call it research. The crowd's favorite metric is attention. Attention is loud and empty. The standard's metric is completion. Completion is quiet and heavy. One finished rep counts more than a week of conversations about potential. One shipped deliverable beats 100 likes from people who never finish anything. You want to leave a mark? Start stacking completions until your name equals outcomes, not opinions. The crowd moves by feelings. The standard moves by numbers. Feelings swing. Numbers sit on the page and stare at you without sympathy. So write them. Sleep hours you will protect. Training sessions you will complete. Words you will ship. Calls you will make. Revenue targets you will hit. Time boxes you will defend. Define them in ink and hold yourself to them in weather both sunny and brutal. The crowd will tell you that it's too strict, too harsh, too robotic. They say that because they need space to drift. Drifting is a luxury for people satisfied with average. You are not. The crowd wants to be seen doing work. The standard demands that the work be done. There is a difference. Chasing the crowd means curating optics. Chasing the standard means building mechanisms. The mechanism beats the mood. The mechanism does not care about applause. Build your day like a factory floor. The first station is wake, hydrate, move. The second is 90 minutes of deep work before the world gets a vote. A third is a programmed training session where load and form are recorded, not guessed. The fourth is a revenue action you can count. The fifth is recovery designed, not improvised. This is not monk theater. This is how adults produce value on schedule. You will be tempted to prove yourself to people. That is chasing the crowd. Prove yourself to the line. Did you meet the standard today or not? If yes, mark it. If no, fix it within 24 hours. No spirals. No stories. Correction, not collapse. Professionals correct fast. Amateurs dramatize and drift until the week is gone and the month melts and the year stings. The standard keeps time. It knows when you are wasting it. When you chase the crowd, you bend your craft to trends. When you chase the standard, you bend trends to your craft. Choose depth over novelty. Depth compounds. Novelty distracts. Study fundamentals until you are boring to the shallow and dangerous to the serious. Master your basic lifts, your basic sentences, your basic offers, your basic numbers. Standards live in basics. The crowd lives in glitter. Glitter washes off in the first rain. You need quiet to hear the line. The crowd hates quiet because quiet makes the scoreboard loud. Cut the noise. Notifications off. App traps removed. Meetings deleted unless they produce decisions. Desks cleared. Tabs closed. Single task open. Timer set. Breathe. Hold your eyes on the page for the full block. The ability to focus for 90 minutes without switching is the new elite performance drug. It is legal, free, and most people never taste it. Taste it. Use it. Build your day around it. Your environment is either a standard enforcing tool or a crowd magnet. Look around. Does your room argue with your goals? Fix it. Tools visible, traps hidden. One purpose per space. If you work at this desk, you don't eat there, scroll there, or fight there. You work there. If you sleep in this bed, you don't strategize there, watch there, or email there. You sleep there. Make the right behavior easy. Make the wrong behavior expensive. The crowd wants you impulsive. The standard wants you inevitable. Craft a code of operation. Not principles on a poster, but rules with teeth. I train daily. I ship before noon. I touch revenue every day. I tell the truth early. I sleep 8 predictable hours. I don't open entertainment before the first 3 blocks. I repair within 24 hours when I break something. That is a code. Codes make you calm because decisions are pre-made. The crowd improvises, then calls the chaos creative. You create by design, then improvise inside the design. Standards are measurable, so pick your measuring sticks with care. For body, sessions, sets, reps, load, tempo, steps, heart rate, sleep. For work, deep blocks completed, deliverables shipped, real offers sent, follow-ups made, revenue closed. For learning, hours of deliberate practice, problems solved, pages summarized, projects built. For relationships, check-ins done, promises kept, breaches repaired. Count what counts. Leave the vanity metrics to the crowd. They will be busy counting followers while you outpace them in outcomes. Chasing the crowd kills your voice. You start to bend sentences to fit trends and hashtags. You stop saying the sharp thing that would build trust with the serious because you fear the shallow will click away. Let them click. The shallow have no loyalty. Speak to the serious with precision. Speak to the mission with accuracy. Speak to yourself with commands. You are not a fog machine. You are a builder. Builders don't waste breath on smoke. You will be called rigid. Good. Rigidity around the standard protects flexibility everywhere else. When you know what is non-negotiable, you can move fast with the negotiable. You can respond to markets, to clients, to family without losing the center, because the center is locked. That's the paradox the crowd never learns. They chase freedom by resisting discipline and end up chained to chaos. You choose discipline and end up free to move. The crowd idolizes balance as an excuse to stay soft. Balance is not an entry-level skill. Balance is earned after you meet the line consistently. If your house is on fire, you don't pause to balance your schedule. You put out the fire. If your body is broken, you build your sleep and training and food around repair. If your finances bleed, you stop the leak and increase revenue before you polish your calendar. Apply triage. Earn balance later. The standard prevents you from decorating a collapsing structure. Your identity must come from evidence. The crowd chants affirmations to cover the absence of proof. You don't need that. You need a logbook of completed hard things, on schedule. Each line of ink is identity hardened. I am a finisher is not a mantra. It's a description. When proof stacks high enough, the fear of what the crowd thinks goes silent because you've got numbers that talk louder. You need a circle that speaks standard. If your people normalize drift, they are a hazard. If they normalize excuses, they are a hazard. If they celebrate optics, they are a hazard. Collect people who ask numbers, not narratives, who respond to whining with, "What did you ship?" Who understand failure rules and recovery rules and call you when you break either. You become the average of the standards you tolerate. Pick your average like your life depends on it. Install failure rules. The crowd turns no into melodrama. You will turn no into iteration. 3 follow-ups, then archive. 3 attempts at the lift, then deload and volume. 2 drafts, then publish and learn in public. A set number of auditions, then revise the reel. Failure rules save you from spirals. They convert disappointment into direction. Set recovery standards as hard as your output standards. Sleep is not a mood. It is a schedule. Food is not therapy. It's fuel. Walking is not optional. It is operating system maintenance. Stretching and mobility are not wellness trends. They are how you keep moving load in 10 years instead of bragging about high school. The crowd glorifies exhaustion because it looks like sacrifice. You will glorify consistency because it wins. When the market shifts, the crowd panics. The standard refocuses. You ask 3 clean questions. What is still true in this domain? Which of my fundamentals apply without modification? Which skill deficit just got exposed? Then you execute. While everyone else posts think pieces and blames conditions, you adjust offers, tighten processes, and keep closing. The standard doesn't shake when the wind changes. It angles its sails by math, not by meme. Your language must police itself. Crowd words. Someday, later, try, hope, maybe, overwhelmed, busy. Standard words. Now, by, will, done, next, priority, shipped. The words you use are the orders you give your nervous system. If you feed it soft directives, it becomes soft. Feed it commands, and it obeys. Short sentences, active verbs. No apologies for standing where your line is drawn. Build streaks, not to appease an app, but to leverage how your brain hates breaking chains. Put a calendar on the wall. Mark every day you meet the standard for your top 3 behaviors. When you hit 10, you start guarding 11. When you hit 30, you start guarding 31 like it's gold. When you break one, you fix it in 24 hours and begin again without drama. Streaks build momentum. Momentum makes discipline feel lighter. Lighter discipline lets you carry heavier goals. Be ruthless about inputs. The crowd feeds on outrage and gossip and turns every day into an emotional carnival. That diet ruins your focus. Curate the people you follow to those who show receipts, not noise. Curate the content to what strengthens your craft. Curate the time windows for consumption so you never confuse learning with lurking. You're not a spectator. You're a producer. Producers touch inputs on purpose. There's a reason elite teams use checklists for things they could recite in their sleep. Under pressure, memory lies. The crowd trusts vibes in turbulence. The standard trusts lists. Write your pre-flight. Device out of room. Timer set. Dock open. Water filled. Warm sentence restating the outcome. Begin. Write your shutdown. Record metrics. Note the next step. Clear the space. Schedule tomorrow's first move. Lists are boring. So are bridges that don't collapse. Understand the social tax of standards. People close to you may resent your line because it indicts their lack of one. Expect invitations back to easy. Expect guilt dressed as care. Expect subtle sabotage. You don't need to argue. You need to persist. Boundaries stated calmly. Declines delivered cleanly. Presence offered generously within your rules. Over time, the ones who want to grow will adjust. The rest will complain. Let them. You will be busy building. Train carries. Load in hands. Walk. Carries teach posture under strain and silence under noise. They teach you to hold shape while the body begs for shortcuts. Life is carries, obligations, expectations, responsibility, reputation. The crowd wants to set everything down and talk about feelings. You carry, you move. You put it down at the finish, not before. Write daily, not publicly necessarily, but somewhere. One page. What you aimed for, what you hit, what you missed, what you change tomorrow. The page becomes your mirror. The mirror keeps you honest. The crowd avoids mirrors because they prefer filters. Filters tell them they are progressing because the color changed. The page tells you the truth because the numbers changed or didn't. Stop managing impressions. Start managing systems. Impression management is exhausting and brittle. System management is sustainable and anti-fragile. Systems survive bad days. Systems carry you when willpower dips. Systems make talent look inevitable. Build the system that makes your standard non-negotiable. Guard it like it guards your future. Set asymmetric goals. The crowd picks targets that require applause to feel real. You pick targets that require completion to be real. One new client who pays for your month. One product that removes a class of future problems. One skill that multiplies the value of everything you already do. When you hit those goals, you become hard to ignore, even if nobody likes your posts. Reality pays in cash, not in comments. If you have to choose between being liked and being reliable, choose reliable. If you have to choose between being current and being correct, choose correct. If you have to choose between a viral moment and a durable mechanism, choose the mechanism. None of these choices feel glamorous. All of them compound. The crowd chases heat. You chase firepower that still burns next year. Define enough so the crowd doesn't trick you into endless thirst. Enough sleep. Enough savings buffer. Enough sessions this week to progress. Enough ship work to justify rest. Enough boundaries to protect attention. Once the standard is met, step away and live. People who never define enough end up miserable from a pit that has no bottom. The standard gives your ambition walls so it can fill the room instead of seeping into the ground. You will not wait for ideal conditions. Standards were built for storms. The day is messy, run your floor. The floor is what keeps you from zero. The floor is the minimum effective day. One clean meal, one training set with perfect form, one revenue action, one repair if needed, lights out on time. The crowd collapses on messy days and calls it fate. You compress and keep moving. You will face the algorithm in whatever arena you play. Do not worship it. It is a fickle weather pattern, not a god. Build for humans who pay, who trust, who return, who refer. Build assets you own. Build lists you control. Build skills that transfer. Build reputation with people who matter. The algorithm can make you look big for a week. The standard makes you unignorable for a decade. Fear will try to hijack your line with clever arguments. It will say you're being too harsh. It will say you'll miss out. It will say people will leave you if you become this consistent. Test the claims against evidence. When have standards ruined you? When has inconsistency helped you? When have soft boundaries protected your time? When has drifting built anything you respected? Answer honestly and stop letting fear pretend to be wisdom. Make hard asks. The crowd flirts with opportunities and calls it networking. You will ask for decisions. Do you want the offer? Will you commit by Friday? Can we set terms today? Clean asks move life. Flirting wastes it. If they say no, you move on. If they say yes, you deliver. People start trusting you because you become the one who knows what they want and asks for it without theater. Design your rest like you design your work. The crowd binges to escape. You recover to reload. Set a shutdown hour. Dim lights. No screens. Read. Stretch. Breathe. Sleep like a pro. Wake like a pro. Roll over and crush the first minute. The first minute sets the tone. Feet to floor on the first tone is not about heroism. It is about eliminating negotiation before it multiplies. Standards sharpen gratitude. When you earn the day, simple things land hard. Hot shower, clean food, quiet room, a walk at dusk with a steady pulse. The gratitude is not forced. It flows because you can feel the weight you carried and the weight you laid down. That gratitude stabilizes you. Stable minds carry heavier goals without shattering. Be suspicious of applause. Applause can seduce you into performing for the crowd again. Take the compliment and return to the line. Was the rep clean? Was the deliverable on time? Did you maintain the recovery rules? The claps fade. The line remains. Keep meeting it. Teach your nervous system to respect your voice. Every time you make a promise to yourself and keep it, you tighten the bond. Every time you break it, you fray it. The crowd breaks their word to themselves and then compensates with louder talk. You will keep your word and need less talk. The quiet becomes your edge. Quiet people who finish are nuclear. They walk into rooms with gravity. The world does not need another influencer of feelings. It needs builders of standards. Be one. Put your head down when others swing their necks for attention. Put your hands on the work when others extend them for applause. Put your feet on the floor when others reach for snooze. Put your name on the line when others hide behind teams and trends. The crowd will keep turning in circles and call it a dance. You will keep moving forward in straight lines and call it a life. There will be days when chasing the standard makes you lonely. Good. Solitude is where craft grows. Use it. Read, train, write, ship. Then step into community with those running the same race. Iron sharpens iron. You will find them by listening for their language. They talk about sets, not selfies. They talk about deadlines, not discourse. They talk about standards like they are alive because for them, they are. When the night comes, the line is simple. Did you meet the standard? If yes, close the day and sleep. If not, fix one thing now or schedule the fix tomorrow at a specific time. No bargaining. No confessions to people who can't help you. Just action. Then sleep. The cycle repeats. That repetition is your strategy. That repetition makes you a threat to your old life and a magnet to your new one. Chase the standard, not the crowd. The standard will outlast trends. It will outlast moods. It will outlast your fear. It will outlast your critics. It will outlast even you, because once you live it hard enough, the people who watch you will carry parts of it forward in their own work, whether they ever credit you or not. That is legacy, not quotes on a wall. Lines in a life that others can follow when their own courage flickers. Set the line. Guard it. Live it under pressure. Count it at night. Raise it when it becomes too easy. Lower it only when wisdom, not fear, demands it. Teach it to your hands, your mouth, your schedule, your circle. Let the crowd chase each other in circles. You will walk straight. You will win by boring, measurable, relentless execution. You won't need to announce it. Your results will do the talking, and the crowd will start whispering the only sentence that matters. That one meets the standard.